Yo, what's going on, guys? Today's video, I'm gonna do a video on these Robinson racing gears. I got a couple requests on doing an install video on these gears. I basically just popped this box open just to see what they look like. So you guys are gonna get the full install experience here. I'm just chilling in Texas Hill Country's live right now. So I'm just gonna kind of watch the live and install these gears at the same time too. Shout out to Texas Hill. All right, so we got some stickers and stuff. Texas Hill smashed his Baja into the curb. Shredding that thing, holy. Okay guys, I'm going to show you what I did to install these Robinson Racing gears. First off, I did put one shim in between the slipper clutch and the bearing here in the back. So I did put a shim there. I'm not going to remove this to show you. I just put one shim there, but I will show you where I shimmed the transmission. First gear here. When you put this first gear on, I actually put one shim on the end of this shaft right there, right? And that's it for this shaft. This one's all put together. It goes back together the same way that you took it apart. Everything is normal on this shaft. This goes right back together the way that it came. You basically just replace all the stock gears with the metal ones. So once you've done that, I put a little shim on here just to raise this up a little bit. So once you do that, you can put this into the transmission. Every tranny, could be different. You might need different shims than I did. I couldn't tell you which size I used. These are all different shims here. I just kind of took it apart, put one on, and then, just kind of trial and errored it. Just test fitted it every time, right? So I got a couple shims so far. I put one shim behind here, the spur gear and slipper setup. I put one shim behind there. And then I also put one shim behind the actual transmission here on the bottom, like I showed you previously. Now, the next one that requires the most amount of shims, and what I also want to talk about, is if you have this shaft, this Robinson Racing steel gear set will not work. You need this shaft here. First, you need to install the set screws on the gear here, and it just fits over the shaft. It just sits in the slots on the shaft. And then you would go ahead and tighten the set screws on that. There's two of them. Make sure you Loctite them as well. Give those a nice tighten up. Don't break your screwdriver over it, but just give them a nice snug. Then you go ahead and put this little spacer they give you on the end of that. Now, I put quite a few shims on the end of mine. I'll show you up close with how many shims I actually put on the end of this to take up some of the slack in the transmission. You guys see that? That's about how many shims I put on there. Right, slide that on there. Now we're going to put this back in the transmission. And like I said before, guys, you want to test fit this. Make sure everything runs smooth. I already put mine together and it should be all good. I actually put a little bit of black grease on the gears, just a very light coating of black grease. And then now I'm at the step where I'm going to screw this all back together and make sure it spins smoothly. But as far as I'm concerned, this spins pretty good. And there's minimal play in any of the shafts here, so that center cluster that's moving around. See how this way it runs smooth? But then when you flip it this way, you hear some scraping. That means that I need to shim the other side of that center cluster because I put a one shim on the one side, but I didn't put anything on the other side. So we need to shim the other side now. To shim this side of the center cluster. Actually, that might be just perfect, to be honest. I think I solved the issue, guys. So another area that you need the washer on is right here on the end of the shaft. You need a washer on this spot as well if you plan on shimming this transmission. I wanted to take up some of the slack and make this run as smooth as possible. Let's give it a shot. So now it doesn't matter which way you have this transmission, upside down or this way, it doesn't scrape. None of the gears scrape each other. Nothing scrapes. So I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna see how this goes. I'll throw this back in the truck and see how it all goes. Alright guys, I got the Robinson Racing gears all installed. Everything seems to be running pretty smooth. I got it all shimmed up. So pretty stoked to have the Revo back up and running again. Stay tuned for a driving video of this thing. Hopefully the gears work out. Thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully some of that helped you out.